Hey everyone, it is Michael with Backyard Orchard Dreams. Welcome. Today we're going to spotlight an incredible fruit called the blood orange. Check it out. Now, what is a blood orange, you may ask? It is a type of orange, a type of citrus orange that comes from the Mediterranean area. This particular variety is called a sanguinello, which comes from a region within Italy. And what's really unique about this is that it doesn't have just your typical orange flesh. It has kind of reddish hues and properties to it that mix in with the orange flesh color that makes it look and also taste very unique. Take a look at the blood orange tree. Look at that. Looks great, doesn't it? There are, if I had to guess how many fruit are on this tree, it's a lot that you can't see when you first look at the tree. I'm guessing, just eyeballing it, we've taken maybe 30 to 40 off of here already. I'm going to say 150 to 200. That's my estimate of how many pieces of fruit we've gotten on this tree this year. Look at it. It's about 8 feet tall. It's a semi-dwarf. The health is looking great. You've got a bunch of new growth coming in. And the ones with the more reddish blush on the exterior, I have found what that means is the flesh is more of a reddish flesh on the inside. So there seems to be a direct correlation between the fruit, that one, versus maybe one like this that doesn't have quite as much. It's a little hard to tell, but like this one has a lot of red hues to it, both of those. This one a little more orange, except for kind of on that side. I would guess these two are going to have a much more darker flesh to it. Overall, looks good. It's very healthy. It's producing lots of fruit for us, and it's doing exactly what we want it to do. Now, one of the cool things about my blood orange tree is that it is known to be very alternate season bearing, meaning you have a wonderful harvest like you see here, all these incredible luscious fruit hanging from the tree. And because it has produced or worked so hard to put on this type of production, the next year you get nothing. And the first year I had it in the ground, it had fruit. The second year, nothing. But what's really cool is that the last 2 years, we are getting consistent production, consistent harvest, which is really nice. So hopefully, as this tree continues to get bigger, it is super healthy, and we treat it the right way. Hopefully, we can continue to get harvest of blood oranges every single year. I'm going to touch on a little bit of what the other citrus are doing and give you a comparison. This is the pink lemonade tree right here. We've got a couple growing over here, which are some Eureka lemons and lime, a lemon tree and a lime. The blood orange right next to it. Right here, we have an Oro Blanco grapefruit, the baby one, and then the more mature grown one right here. Let me just get in here. Now, this is really cool. See the fruit on the tree? Look at that. There's lots of grapefruits on the tree, lots of grapefruit on the tree. And then it's also starting to produce flowers. These citrus trees work all year round. They don't have an off season. All year round, they're either going to be holding fruit, developing fruit, or producing flowers, which is really interesting. So we'll start pulling most of these off pretty soon. And we're going to let the energy focus on the flower development to make sure we have a nice harvest next year. Okay, let's take a look at one of these bad boys. Let's open it up and let's give a quick little taste test on it. And one of the things about it is that it has a little lower acidity than a normal orange. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that gorgeous? A little more acidity than a normal orange means a little less tart and a little more sweet, a little sweeter. Look at that. Hold on, let me just show you the see. Look at that. That's pure, healthy, organic, incredible goodness. Incredible. So you see the flesh, see how it gets reddish, kind of raspberry colorish on it. Yeah, that's the color. But a gorgeous looking fruit, and it tastes even better. A lot of the fruit would hold on until April, May, maybe even June. But one of the things I start to notice is if I hold it too long into May and June, it starts to dry up. The fruit doesn't. It hits its peak. Like right now, March into April, is kind of the peak of how they taste and their maturity. And then once it gets past that, they start to decline a little bit in terms of their juiciness. This is a mandarin. Thing to notice is how close these trees are. I planted these trees about 6 feet from one another. 6 to 8 feet. They're very close. They're all semi-dwarf, and they are doing exactly what we need them to do, which is produce a lot of fruit in a small area on low hanging or low trees with low height so that we can actually reach and grab and harvest the fruit. We don't want a tree 15, 20 feet high. Right? One more to show you. The Tangelo. It's doing pretty good this year. This used to be my favorite citrus until I started trying some of the other varieties. Last year it was so overloaded with fruit that the resources were drained and it just didn't taste as sweet. This year though, probably another 200 on this tree, and that's about the right amount that it can hold. Look again. See the flowers? Look at that. See the flowers? Well, anyways, the fruit this year has been really good. And I'm not sure which one I'm liking the best right now between all of the different citrus trees. We have just the right amount of variety between all of them. Now the last thing I'll show you is my little Cara Cara, starting to put on some flowers. It had about 4 pieces of fruit. I got to one of them. Unfortunately, something stole the other three, and I did not think that squirrels or rats or other rodents liked citrus, but I'm seeing like a little bit of peel where one of them was. One of them was. See that? Wait, let's see if I can get through there. Let's get past that one. See that? That's a little bit of a peel. Yeah, somebody got in there. Somebody ate it, fortunately. But the one piece I had was incredible. And so now I got another citrus variety that's going to compete for the best tasting as it continues to grow up and mature. Okay, take a look at the harvest. This is the harvest that came out of the orchard today. Look at all this fruit. The tangelos are closest to us, the grapefruit right in the middle, and then what we just spotlighted were the blood oranges. Those are here. I am headed to Vegas to head to a conference, and I'm going to bring a nice little citrus care package to some of my colleagues. But check that out. Beautiful, ripe citrus and the blood oranges. All right, thank you all for joining. I am going to partake in this blood orange. It's really good. A little hint of kind of a raspberry with orange flavor. But it's incredible. Now, by the way, we throw the peels right by the trees so that they can decompose and be part of the organic matter that returns the feeding and nurtures and provides nutrition to the tree. Take a look at this. Mm. That's good. All right. Till next time, we'll see you soon. Take care.